grand finale of DCL season 2017.
The venue is incredible, the track looks incredible, organisation is impeccable, so I'm stoked.
We feel very excited to race here.
It's a big final, so you know, the whole season we flew all the way to this point. It's super exciting.
It's a very special course indoors, and it's going to be a lot of fun, also for the spectators.
Can't wait to race.
We're just stoked to be here and very excited.
We started with 180,000 spectators in Paris who watched us flying drones under the Arc de Triomphe. From there we used the Parliament and government buildings of Liechtenstein as drone racing obstacles. We took over the centre of beautiful Brussels and went 150 metres underground into a salt mine. And now our tour of using iconic worldwide locations as drone racing tracks has brought us to the capital of Germany. I'm Matt Andrews and welcome to the Drone Champions League, the biggest drone racing team series in the world, and it is our grand final weekend here in Berlin. We have the best pilots in the world. They'll be racing at up to 140 kilometers an hour indoors and waiting to be crowned the world champions of the Drone Champions League for 2017. And thrillingly, there are still 3 teams who can win that title today. And here is how it stands. Next Place Racing from the UK after yesterday's action find themselves on 1,180 points and in the lead of our championship, with Flyduino Kits close behind them on 1,090, and Rotorama, who were on the lead of the season until we got here in Berlin, they are on 1,080. And with 250 points available today to the winner, any of those top 3 teams could be crowned the world champion of the DCL. To do it, they'll have to get through our races today, and this is how it works at the Drone Champions League. If you're new to us, then welcome if you are. Earlier today, we had 3 qualifying sessions. Each team has 4 pilots. We take the best times of those pilots across the 3 sessions and aggregate them for the team. There are 9 teams here. 8 of them make it to the quarterfinals based on those qualifying seedings. In our quarterfinals, we have 2 single heats. Each team will race 1 pilot against 1 of the opposition. If you win, you score a point for your team. So after 2 single heats, you could be 2-0 in the lead. However, it's not all over, because then it's the big heat. Unique to the DCL, all 8 drones will be in the air in a big heat race. And if you come in first, then you will collect, of course, 1 point for your team. But if your teammates can come second and third with you, they will pick up 2 bonus points. That means, having lost the 2 single heats, you could still win the big heat with 3, and you will progress through to the semi-finals. 4 quarterfinals, of course, between the 8 best teams after qualifying. We'll lose 4 of them at that stage. Semi-finals with 2 more single heats and 1 big heat each later on. And then 2 teams will progress to our grand final, where every pilot will race in a single heat against the opposition, 1 gigantic big heat of 8 drones, and ultimately 1 world champion. So we are live now from Station Berlin in the heart of Germany to crown the best drone racers in the world. And you are seeing here the track on which they're going to do it on, one of the most complicated and fast ones you could ever race.
Okay, here we go. So this is the best part for me, because it's gonna be like almost at 360 degrees, and then right after this gate you're gonna search for the Conrad gate. It's one of the most important gates, since Conrad, this event is from Conrad. And right after we are gonna search for the super narrow doors. If you go into them, then you're fine. And right after there are 2 DCL gates. After the gates you have to go up to the other gate and go around the pylons that is over here. And here is the point where you take a lot of speed. So you take a lot of speed, and all of the speed goes now into the 360. These 360 degrees, you have to do it like as close as you can to the pylon. And right after, you're going to go inside the narrow doors again. And here is exactly where it finished the 2017 Berlin final race. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.
So it is quarterfinals time after qualifying was done earlier, which saw FPV Racing in 9th place after all of the seeding. So you won't be seeing them race this afternoon, which is a big story here. They've been one of the most consistent teams we've had. They were potentially going to win this thing. They were in contention yesterday, but they went out in the quarterfinals, didn't pick up any points, and won't today.
Für das deutsche Vaterland. Danach lasst uns alle streben, brüderlich mit Herz und Hand. Einigkeit und Recht und Freiheit sind des Glückes Unterpfand. Blüh im Glanze dieses Glückes, blühe deutsches Vaterland. Blüh im Glanze dieses Glückes, blühe deutsches Vaterland.
Who'll be racing today, and we had a thrilling set of races yesterday on this incredible track. Fan there, Rotorama potentially in contention, one of the top 3 teams. Conrad Racing Team, who are very much racing in front of their home crowd here. We're at the Conrad Campus weekend with DCL. There's workshops going on in robotics, VR, 3D printing, esports and gaming here as well. You can get your hands on some very tiny little drones and get some practice in with those. But right alongside it, 440 meters of it, is what we're doing here with DCL. This is what it was like yesterday. Good, didn't it? Let's have some more of that. Welcome everybody, I'm Matt Andrews. We are live here with the final races of the Drone Champions League 2017 from Station Berlin in Germany. A 440 meter racetrack that these pilots had very different experiences on. Yesterday we had a lot of crashes. Today we're expecting a lot more closer racing. There's how it's going to look. This is what we'll be bringing you this afternoon live from Berlin. Next Blades Racing, top of the leaderboard at the moment, looking to become the world champions. They'll open things up against Gemfan, Rotorama, who are in 3rd at the moment. They'll be racing the Conrad Wildcard Team. Flyduino Kiss, 2nd in the championship. We'll be racing IRC, who are back with us after being 9th yesterday. And then Next Blades Free Flow will take on Conrad Racing Team in our 4th quarterfinal. Gemfan come to the stage in front of this great audience we've got here in Berlin. Next Blades Racing already on there, and you'll have seen this site many times, whether you joined us yesterday or at previous races of the season. Lots of love, lots of respect. It's been a fantastic year. Everybody has really enjoyed themselves in all the locations. We've had incredible experiences and races with the best pilots in the world. It is, though, World Championship Day. First up then, first single heat of the day, we'll see Luke Bannister for Next Blades Racing, the World Drone Prix 2016 World Champion, who hasn't been with us this season but is part of Next Blades roster, and he will be racing Victor van der Elst. Luke Bannister in blue, Victor van der Elst in red, and a better start for Victor. Here he is, and this is your first sight today of this incredible course. Yes, through 2 sets of double doors, through 2 gates on the ceiling, down to a hairpin at the end, with Victor still in the lead over Luke Bannister. Luke was best in qualifying yesterday, best in qualifying today as well, but Victor is giving him a real race now. Luke passes him on the end of the first lap. It's a 3-lap course, and we continue with the Conrad gates, seeing both of them through, and there's the 2 sets of doors. Through the 2 gates to the ceiling, Victor nearly into the top of DJI. It claimed a few people yesterday, and that gap extending now. Victor 1.5 seconds behind Luke as he goes through the clockwise corkscrew and head to the doors to exit again. Victor behind Luke, Luke pulling away from him, and Victor is down. There he is to the bottom right of your screen, just on the end of his second lap. That turn, that DJI anti-clockwise corkscrew claimed a lot of drones yesterday. Here's the clockwise one elsewhere on the course as Luke continues his 3rd lap and will take the first point of the day, as he did yesterday. He'll go once more around this bend and put it into our crash gate, which is our finish line. Luke Bannister, World Champion of 2016, 18-year-old superstar drone racing pilot. Part of the Next Blades roster, as I said. Getting it done. Now this is how today is really going to work out. If Next Blades Racing come 3rd, they are the world champions. It's basically as simple as that. There's a little bit more complication going on, but let's keep up with the drone racing and worry less about the numbers. Brett Collis for Next Blades Racing, great pilot for them. One of the most consistent we've got, currently leading, joint leading to be fair, our pilots leaderboard in terms of points scored for the team. He's beaten to the start there though by Mirko Cezena for Gemfan. Great start for him, but Collis is only just over 1/10 of a second behind him. They cleanly make their way towards the doors. There's Brett's view of Mirko Cezena just in front of him. Few video issues going to be costly for Brett there. Round the far end of the hall and back they come. Clockwise corkscrew sees Brett take Mirko Cezena and heads out of the doors in the lead over the front of him. We'll see how that gap is measured up soon. It is 0.3 of a second that he's turned it around, and starting the second lap, Brett's in the lead through the doors at speed and up towards the ceiling and too high. Brett is down. Mirko Cezena continues. Is Brett going to get that back into the race? Mirko completes his corkscrew, and his teammates can tell him if Brett Collis is out. They're allowed to tell him on stage, you've got this. You will have progressed the furthest. You can have this point. Mirko either doesn't know or wants to get more stick time in. And I don't blame him, because this is a World Championship course. This is the fastest and most tricky and indoor circuit we've ever had at DCL. Cezena completes the doors, completes the anti-clockwise corkscrew, and brings it home. And makes it 1-all. When we go to the big heat next, winner takes all. We just need 1 point for the winner, and we don't need to worry about the bonus points for 2nd and 3rd. If Next Blades Racing go out now, Flyduino, Kiss Racing and Rotorama will be a big step closer to being world champions. Here's the big heat. 4 drones you can see on the right-hand side for Next Blades Racing in blue. Mirko Cezena, Victor van der Elst, along with Karen Garbrandt and Krzysztof Czarczanowicz, who've been with us all season. They'll be racing in red for Gemfan. This will be a big upset if Gemfan can pull it off. They're 8th in our season. They've not had by any means the best of seasons. They didn't actually manage between them to finish 1 race in the quarterfinals yesterday. What can they do here in the big heat? Can they knock out the DCL leaders, Next Blades Racing? One of the blue drones is on the deck. One of the blue drones for Next Blades Racing is far out in the lead, and we suspect that is going to be Luke Bannister. Timing's coming in, that it is. Luke with a great time of his first half of a lap and a huge lead over anybody else. 2 seconds between him and any other racer of any other racing colour. Now the blue drones for Next Blaze Racing, the potential world champions, show why they are the potential world champions. Here is a reigning world champion, Luke Bannister, showing you how to take this course by the scruff of the neck. Round the corkscrew, over the Conrad hurdle, and through the doors he goes, with Matt Posvold over 5 seconds behind him, and Gary Kent, his teammate, over 6 seconds behind him. Luke stepped up to training on Friday night and owned this course from the very beginning, showing what skills he could have brought. And if he'd been with us all season, what a lead Next Blaze Racing could have had over today. Could have had it all done and dusted and sealed. But he's been very sensibly concentrating on his studies, and then turns up and does this. And of course he races all over the world, as do many of the Next Blaze Racing team. They race in many, many different series. And they will be racing in today's semi-finals, taking that seemingly 4-1. They're getting the 2 bonus points, they didn't need them. 4-1 over Gemfans. He's Next Blaze Racing with one hand on a World Championship trophy. Slightly better performance from Gemfan than yesterday, having got a win, whereas yesterday they didn't even finish a race. But Next Blaze Racing put them aside, and here's how they did it. There's Luke disappearing off into the distance. Back again under the drones through the PlayStation gate, clockwise around DCL. As they come through those double doors to this section of the course, they are going to reach up to about 70 miles an hour indoors over a length of track which is not much more than about 100 meters. And the other teams are going to need to show some speed as well when or if they face Next Blaze Racing at a later time. So we'll go to our second quarter-final between Rotorama and the Conrad Wildcard Team, and it is Jakob Thoman against Bastian Hackl here. Thoman with a little bit of a lead over Bastian Hackl to the far end of the course, round our hairpin, and Hackl is down, which is a shame. He was best performer for them yesterday, picked up a point for them by winning the quarterfinal big heat. He may well do that again soon. Jakob Thoman getting some more airtime in here. Team. Before we get into that, let's get into this. There's a review going on. So here's the first sign of our review process today. That's our head judge and chief referee, Fabian, on stage. If any of our pilots or their team managers or owners wish to flag a protest, we have a correct system. We have a rerun on our hands. All right, so I'll try and find out what the issue was for you there, but the reserve drones, which are identical, I should stress, for the next set of drones are already on the blocks, so we go again. Jakob Thoman and Bastian Hackl, here we go. Jakob Thoman with a better start again, with the red drone of Rotorama against the Wildcard Team in blue. Bastian has Thoman in front of him, through DJI, nice and clean for both of them, gaining speed towards the end of the course. Good turn by Bastian Hackl, perhaps a little hesitant on the exit, but certainly tighter, and a better turn from him again here. The Austrian pilot showing long-term Czech pilots a good bit of competition. This is close now. Hackl with him, side by side, air sharing through the doors. And that suspects a bit of an in-air collision, I think, as he was trying to pass him in the narrowest part of the course. We have the replete footage already. As Tobin's view, Tobin was behind Hackle. Hackle had passed him. Tobin tried to get past him again, and that means the point is going to Bastian Hackle of the Conrad Wildcard Team. Jakob Tobin is joint third in our leaderboard of points for pilots. He could be our pilot of the year today, but that performance has robbed him of a very useful point that he needed. It's 1-up to Conrad Wildcard. Jan Mittner, another Czech pilot for Rotorama. He's won 3 single heats this year, but he's also not finished in 3 of them. This is Tobin against Hackle again. That's the wrong graphic. Okay, no, this is the race we wanted. So, Jan Mittner in red, Walter Kirsch, the Conrad Wildcard in blue. And it is Jan Mittner with the lead now, Walter Kirsch closely behind him. We saw Walter Kirsch in our 2016 season last year, but this is the first time he's joined us this year, and Jan Mittner is leaving him some way behind now. The second set of doors, as they go on the exit there, is a lot narrower than the first one. We've had a few accidents there, as you can imagine. Kirsch now perhaps getting a little bit more back into the picture, carrying a bit more speed for him. He was a good performer yesterday. He was great, absolutely brilliant in qualifying earlier on today. Now he's closing in on Jan Mittner. Still a second between them though. Jan Mittner's view of the doors, up through Drone Air and DJI, and Walter Kirsch attempting to take him in one of the highest and fastest sections of the course, but the DJI gate has claimed him there, and that means Jan Mittner will make this 1-all. Which gives me an opportunity to tell you about this blue drone team. They are the Conrad Wildcard Team. Wherever we go with DCL, we try and have a wildcard team. We open up qualifiers to local drone racers so that they can have a chance of competing in a professional drone racing series. We've had wildcard teams at many of our races. This is the Conrad Wildcard Team, as it's the Conrad Campus weekend. Conrad ran a massive drone racing air series, a huge tournament to find the best pilots across Germany, Austria and Switzerland. They brought them here today. We are thrilled to have them with us, and thrilled to see that they qualified in the thick of things both days and are putting up a big fight now. It is going to be Merlin Tanner out in the lead with Jakob Tobin and Peter Meyer somewhere with him as well. It is 1-all in points at the moment. Please ignore the score bug at the top of the screen. That's wrong. It is 1-all. Winner takes all on this. And with only 1600ths of a second, Merlin Tanner fancies taking Conrad Wildcard Team to the semi-finals over potential world champions Rotorama. Next Blades Racing will be quite happy with the state of affairs, but Peter Meyer is currently out in front and on the ground. 3 points heading Conrad Wildcard Team, unless Jan Mittner, captain of Rotorama and incredible pilot, can do something about it. But you've just seen him on the right of your screen, heading down on the first half of this lap. 7 seconds behind Merlin Tanner, who is getting it done. He is the 2-time Swiss Indoor Masters winner from last year and this year, and this is the only indoor racing track we've had, certainly inside a building, if you excuse the fact we were in a salt mine. I don't think that counts as indoors, does it? Inside? We had this discussion yesterday. But Merlin Tanner, Indoor Masters, is racing brilliantly indoors today. And Hackle, Bastian Hackle from Austria is still winning. There it is! Merlin Tanner knocks Rotorama out of the quarterfinals and out of the World Championship. Now let's have a look, because I think a review is possibly underway. As it stands, Rotorama will leave us at the quarterfinal stage. They can pick up 80 points if they come 5th, if they have the best performance out of the teams who leave us at the quarterfinal stage. But 80 points will currently only be enough to put them in 2nd for the World Championship. And that is confirmed. Rotorama are 3rd in the DCL for 2017. Their only competitors behind them were FPV Racing, who are 9th 9th in qualifying today and won't pick up any more points. That confirms Rotorama as 3rd place in the DCL. Now, to our stage, comes Flyduino Kiss Racing, the other team who can win it today, against IRC, who've had the most mixed of seasons, if you've been with us before. No sign of them in our first few races after they were always 9th in qualifying, and then back in Romania at our last place in Selina Turner Saltbine, they turned up, stomped all the way through the final, nearly won the whole thing except for this pilot in yellow, Vince Irie, who went the wrong way on his final lap. Has just passed Sebastian Brandes, who hit that wall of the doors hard. He won't be getting back up from that, I should think. Vince just coasting it a little bit now. Nice little view of the PlayStation gate, the clockwise DCL corkscrew. You go under the DJI gate there, over this hurdle, and then towards the doors, and back out to finish his first lap. This is a little bit slower than we've seen him and other pilots do. I think this one is coming home. First point of IRC. So yeah, in Romania they astonished everybody by not only not being 9th in qualifying, but making it through the whole day to the final. Vince went the wrong way on his final lap, cost them the win, so they came back on Sunday and they won the entire thing outright. Huge result for them, very exciting for everybody in the DCL. Yesterday, however, back to being 9th in qualifying. We didn't see anything from them. Let's see what IRC can do to Flyduino here. Now remember, Flyduino, as I said, 2nd in our tournament, 2nd in our World Championship, 90 points behind Next Blades Racing. If they go out here like Rotorama did, Next Blades Racing are the World Champions. Niklas Soler against Cooper Groves. Now if I was Cooper Groves, I would not hold anything back here, because Niklas Soler is not only a great pilot, he won every single race he competed in on this course yesterday. It's only ever been done once in the DCL for a pilot to race in 5 races of a Grand Prix and win all of them. Yesterday I was praising him up, that was Heiko Schenk. Today we have Niklas Soler, also as able to have completed that feat. Cooper Groves fighting to get that drone back up. Julie Muller there at the front of the shot. We've seen her race earlier on in the season. She's been team manager for this weekend and also out in Romania. If Cooper can get that back in the air, he can continue. If you're a drone pilot or racer and you know about turtle mode, yes, we do have that. It's completely legal. If you can flip your drone and get it back into the race, you are welcome to. Niklas Soler is going to chalk himself up another win. And that puts him equal with Brett Collis on 12 points for the season for their teams. Later on today we'll be naming the pilot who scored the most points for the season, and that may well be Niklas Soler now. Brett Collis for Next Blades Racing can win it, and Timothy Trowbridge, incredible pilot, best we've had all season up until this weekend, very much the lead pilot for FPV. He's on 12 wins as well, but after 9th in qualifying today, he won't be picking up any more points. So I suspect Timothy Trowbridge has lost at the last grasp a chance of being the pilot of the year. Into big heat now though. After being 1-all, winner takes all here, and Lucas Wahl is up front and at speed. A very wild, wide way around our clockwise corkscrew, and he keeps it together. Meanwhile, behind him, his Flyduino Kiss teammates are losing ground. They've been passed by IRC. Krasny has moved up. Andrzej Krasny from Poland. Vince Irie challenging at the front. Now that timing is clearly wrong. It's Lucas Wahl's and all his at the moment. Niklas Soler might get another point if he can take the lead, but he'll be happy to see Lucas Wahl completing his 2nd lap in front of him. Vince Irie is doing this, Soler is down. Vince Irie and Andrzej Krasny, if they can beat Lucas Wahl here, Flyduino Kids are out, and Next Blades Racing will be the world champions. Vince Irie getting clocked in now 1 second ahead of Lucas. I don't think that can be right. I don't see any sign of him. To my eyes, Lucas Val is completing his third lap now under the DCL canopy, making the final turn and going in first. We will need to get careful verification of that, because unless Vince Irie was constantly just out of shot, I don't see that he made it. But timings-wise, 0.02 of a second, that certainly doesn't seem to add up. Now we're looking, I think, at confirmation that Lucas Val takes the points for Flyduino Kiss Racing, and Vince Irie's timings were clearly out there. He's actually down in third, which means IRC will be leaving us and the season at this stage, and Flyduino Kiss taking it 2-1 are waving at Next Blades Racing, saying we are still with you. You haven't got this all to yourselves yet. Exciting stuff here at DCL. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. Final quarter-final. It is Next Blades, Free Flow, and Conrad Racing Team. The Conrad team who've been with us throughout the whole season. Three of their pilots here today have raced on every race we've had. First single heat will feature Young Rock's Son for Next BR Free Flow and Conrad Racing Team's Heiko Schenk, another pilot who's looking to be pilot of the year. His team, Conrad Racing Team, they can't win the whole thing, but currently he can take pilot of the year with a few more wins today, and one of them was in his hands over Young Rock's Son, who's passed him now in the corkscrew and exits in front of him. A great turn by the South Korean pilot. And Heiko Schenk with more to do now. 1600ths of a second separate them. Schenk back into the lead on the exit of the doors, and very, very twitchy through the top gates, but he keeps it together, and more importantly, he keeps it through them. Young Rock's Son with a great turn of speed around the hairpin takes that speed into the corkscrew and passes him again. 2 laps down. And Young Rock's Son back out in the lead, but it seems that one half of the course is one pilot's, and Heiko Schenk likes this side of things. He's coming up to the doors, and he's back in the lead, passing Young Rock's Son again. Absolutely fantastic racing from both of these pilots, both still in it to the third lap. Heiko Schenk takes the corkscrew that Young Rock's Son was owning just now, but Son is down. And Heiko Schenk will push this to the end. And Heiko Schenk will add another point to the 10 he'd claimed this season, and that was the best race of the weekend so far. Congratulations to Heiko Schenk and Young Rock's Son, who's had terrific performances this season, but they haven't always counted in points at the end. Now this might get turned around again. We're under review. Pilots and their owners, they can flag up if they think maybe there was a video issue that affected their flight, maybe they lost vision at some point. If that is deemed to be pilot's fault, then we don't rerun it. If it's deemed to be trackside in some way, then we do, as we did earlier on. Looks like that point will stick. Johnny Scher Jr. for Next Blades, Free Flow against Martin de Kemp for Conrad Racing Team. Or maybe just Johnny Scher Jr. Off he goes. Long shot of our corridor there, to the right hand side around the hairpin and back, all by himself. Martin de Kemp. Didn't see a great deal of that blue drone. Just enjoy Johnny Scher, 21-year-old pilot from Illinois, getting his second single heat win of the season. Looks pretty pleased with that. He needed that too, so that makes it 1-all between them and Conrad Racing Team. Conrad Racing Team getting a ton of support here in Berlin, very much the home crowd, and as I mentioned before, this is the Conrad Campus weekend. the big heat ready. Next BR free flow in green. Conrad Racing Team in blue. One of them straight down to the dirt. And one of the green ones, it's Danny Pashon out in the lead, but I think he's lost that to Heiko Schenk. And maybe one of Heiko Schenk's teammates as well. Through DJI with some incredible close flying. And I think Heiko Schenk, oh yes it is Schenk, just under 15 seconds and with just under a second between him and Danny Pashon. Back towards the end of the first lap we go. With Johnny Sher, Dino Yogi and Mark Stropik down. See that CO2 canister burst there, that smoke cloud at the front? I will be telling you instructions about how you can be affecting that very, very soon. That is something that you can get involved with, believe it or not. Currently now though, Conrad Racing Team's Heiko Schenk is up and out in front. And Conrad Racing Team looking to be in the semi-final. They made it all the way to the grand final yesterday. Danny Pashon is some further way behind now, but Danny Pashon is now in the lead. Oh, Heiko Schenk, who could have been our pilot of the year with more points today, won't be picking up any more as Danny Pashon celebrates there with his teammates and Richard, the team owner, on the left. Young Roxanne's dad there on the right. Next BR free flow through and through to another semi-final. Conrad Racing Team in the blue in the distance there, hands on heads. They are done for the weekend and the season. And Heiko Schenk out in front for so much of that race. Pilot of the year, so close. 2-1. Next BR free flow, which means they are confirmed to be in our semi-finals. In front of this great audience that we have live here at Station Berlin. Well, there it is then. We will be seeing Next Blades Racing on 1,180 points against the Conrad Wildcard Team. And we will see the other World Championship contender, Flyduino Kiss Racing, who are 90 points behind them. They'll be racing Next BR Free Flow. So Next Blades Racing, very much hoping their sister team can do them a bit of a favour here as well. So let us know your thoughts. Hope you've been following us all season, but if you're new here, we are Drone Champions League on Facebook and on Instagram and on YouTube and on Drone Champions on Twitter. I'm Matt Andrews. Thanks very much for joining me. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm Matt_Andrews, also on YouTube as well. Lots of behind the scenes stuff. But don't do that right now, because there's a World Championship underway, in case you hadn't noticed. These could be the World Champions. Next, Blades Racing. To our stage come Luke Bannister, Brett Collis, Mac Poschwald, and that man Gary Kent. There's Mac, Brett Collis, and 18-year-old Bunny UK. And it is all serious game time now. 90 points separate them from Flyduino Kiss. This is the team who could really mix this up. Welcome to the semi-finals, Conrad Wildcards. Now very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on Instagram, follow us, Drone Champions League. On Instagram, go to Instagram Stories. And you can vote on our fan joker right now between Next Blades Racing and Conrad Wildcard Team. Whichever team gets the most votes on Instagram Stories, their team captain or owner has a one-hit jet of CO2 that you saw earlier on, that sort of smoke cloud that appeared. They can basically interfere with visibility and potentially even shoot down their opponent opponent's drones one time in this whole semi-final. And the team who get to do that, it's up to you. Go to Instagram stories on Drone Champions League and you can vote for next Blades Racing or Conrad World Team. While you're there, I believe the vote is open now for our other semi-final, Flyduino Kiss Racing and Next BR Free Flow. So vote for your favourite team. Who do you think can do it? Who would you like to do it? Remember, each one of these semi-finals has a potential world champion in it. Maybe that'll help you decide. First single heat, though, will feature pilots that we haven't already seen in single heats. It's going to be Mac Poschwald and Marlon Tanner, who had such an incredible race in the big heat earlier on. If you're new to this, let me explain that each team has 4 pilots and they choose the order that they will race in from the 2 single heats in the quarterfinals and then 2 single heats in the semi-finals. You order your pilots for those races without knowing who you're going to race against. Do you put your best ones in the quarterfinal to make sure you get to the semis? Do you hold them back for the semis? You think your opponents are going to do that? Conrad Wildcard Team are very much a wildcard team right here. Very difficult to tactically decide against. So we're just getting this race ready. We are live here from Station Berlin. This is the World Championship Day of the Drone Champions League 2017. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook or on Unilad. Shout out to Elion, who I know is watching. Thanks for your messages of support. Here we go, Matt Poschwald and Marlon Tanner with only 500ths of a second between them as they head towards the door. Marlon Tanner, the new Swiss pilot from the Indoor Masters, showing Mac Poschwald, Polish drone national champion. Well, he's showing him how to get under a DCL canopy because Mac Poschwald has gone into the ceiling. Unusual to see him do that. What a skilled pilot he is. Marlon Tanner going to get a second point on the board for the wildcard team, who are really here to mix things up and not make up the numbers. Long way under that corkscrew that we've seen so many different approaches to. Now, Next Blades Free Flow are clearly wanting to go all the way to the grand final. Because if they do, and you can tell I'm pausing because I'm working the maths out, can't you? Help me out, Facebook. If Next Blades Racing make it to our grand final, they will win a minimum of 220 points for second, or they'll get 250 for first. And if Flyduino Kiss get there, then it is going to be a scrap between them. It's not all done yet. Neither is this race. Our head judge is reviewing. The protest has been handed in. He'll now watch back. I think this is a FPV protest, first person video protest. He'll review that. Or somebody else will review that, because we're getting on with the race here. Gary Kent and Sebastian Dahl, the 2 pilots that we haven't seen in single heats so far today. Gary Kent with 4 single heat wins to his name. Sebastian Dahl, first out of all the wildcard pilots who were picked and ranked in the championship that Conrad held to pick this team. Sebastian Dahl was the best in qualifying to be on that team. He is here, very twitchy out of the Conrad gate and through the doors, up and down, up and down, up and down, and a long way behind Gary Kent. He's been with us for every location bar one. Sebastian Dahl is in all sorts of trouble there. I don't think he even made it around that hairpin turn. He's now around it. Meanwhile, Gary Kent will be at least half a lap ahead of him, I suspect. There you go, Gary Kent on his way back through Drone Art and DJI gates. We may get here for the very first time in the Drone Champions League a lapped pilot. Gary Kent will be chasing him down and trying to lap Sebastian Dahl, who is on the ground again. There goes Gary, past him. Doesn't kind of count since he crashed beforehand. However, on the bottom corner of your screen, you will see URWF. That is under review, wrong flight. Which means our spotters, who are receiving all the video live, we have 1 spotter for every single pilot. They're receiving all the FPV videos, same as you are seeing it, and same as I'm seeing it, and same, most importantly, as the pilots are. And if a spotter thinks they've missed a turn or gone the wrong way, they will flag it. And and then we will carefully review that. So that is going to happen now for Gary Kent. And then we'll have to take into account whether or not it happened before Dahl was out of the race, but it took him a very long time to be considered completely out of that race. He struggled and limped around for a long time, and it's not going to do him any good. That looks like confirmation. Yeah, that's confirmation that Gary Kent's point won't be changed. Here's some of that action again. So big heat time. Seems that we still have a review of Marlon Tanner and Mac Poschwald in the first single heat. While that is still being reviewed, we move to big heat time, it seems. All 8 drones here, and with some uncertainty perhaps of the point scoring situation at this time, everybody needs to grab everything they can, and it was a great start for all the Conrad Wildcard Team, but it is Gary Kent and Luke Bannister up front. And 2 yellow drones splitting them up now. From Conrad Racing Team, it's Tanner and Kirsch. Marlon Tanner and Walter Kirsch. Bastian Hackel is down, Sebastian Dahl is still in this, along with all of next BR Free Flow. I beg your pardon, Next Blades Racing. Luke Bannister on board here, up front, and at speed practically 90 degrees on tilt there. Pitched it so hard forward. That is the fastest part on the course for him. And yet it would seem timings-wise, unless we're not getting his timing data, Gary Kent has passed him. Let's have a look, here's Luke's view. Not seeing a Gary Kent in front of him. Round a hairpin turn. Wow, that was an amazing bit of flying through the Sony PlayStation gate. It looked like he was going way too low, but then hit the throttle and kept it airborne. This is a terrific bit of flying for Next Blades Racing. Luke Bannister is who we were on board with. Gary Kent was not an awful long way behind him, and Mac Poschwald seals the deal. So Mac's FPV was what was being reviewed from the first single heat there. But with 3 points going to Next Blades Racing from that big heat, it makes whether or not Mac got that point earlier on somewhat redundant. It won't turn things around for Conrad Wildcard Team. Next Blades Racing are into the grand final. And that is huge news, maths fans. So let us know your thoughts. Hope you're enjoying our last racing here at the Berlin Grand Prix for DCL. We are live on Facebook, on YouTube and Unilad, as well as TV channels around the world. Thank you all for joining us. 4-0 for Next Blades Racing to the grand finals. The other world champion contender steps up now. And I think before we get to that, I'll show you some more of this incredible location and incredible racing that we have. watching this action of our first semi-final. Get on Instagram, Drone Champions League, if you are an Instagrammer. We'd love you to vote on who you want to get the fan joker between. Next be our Free Flow and Flyduino Kiss Racing. They'll be up next. If you've got any questions, send us them in the chat while we look at our semi-finalists. Stage and next be our Free Flow led by Ashton Gamble, 12-year-old Drobot racer from America, Danny Pachon from Spain, Johnny Shed Jr. from Illinois, and Young Rock Sun, who's joining us all the way from South Korea. Their opponents look confident here today. Stage, Flyduino Kiss, keep it super simple racing. In good spirits, having a lot of fun this weekend. They do at every race. Here comes the obligatory handshaking, high-fiving. We had some misses yesterday, but so far everything seems to be hitting home. It's important, isn't it? Flyduino Kiss Racing lining up. Niklas Soler won everything yesterday. Sebastian Brandes, Lucas Val, and completing our lineup on stage here in Berlin, Mikael Fulara. Niklas Soler took a huge leap yesterday in the possibility of being Pilot of the Year, getting 5 points out of 5, which has only ever been done once before, as I mentioned earlier. He's picked up 1. He's now neck and neck with Brett Collis on 12 each. We won't be seeing him just yet. We'll see Lucas Val against Ashton Gamble. Ashton, who really stepped up his game yesterday, winning a really good point for his team when it mattered. Lucas Val picked up a single heat win yesterday for himself as well. It's one of our most consistent qualifiers out of the 6 races he's joined in. He's been top 10 in qualifying 5 times. What has he got for us right here? Let's find out. It's Ashton Gamble with a better start, but now behind Lucas Val. Through the doors and heading up to Drone Art and DJI. Ashton Gamble looking a little less settled. Lucas Val is in the net at the far end of the course. Wrecked it on the hairpin turn and is out. You don't think he'll get that back out of there. Which means Ashton Gamble will add a second point to his tally for our whole season. That is over. That is all she wrote. Lucas Val losing it there. That corner has claimed a few. Remember, if Flyduino Kiss Racing want to be a world champion, they're going to have to win this. Although, as I said, maths fans keep abreast of things. Danny Pachon and Mikael Fulara. Danny Pachon for next BR Free Flow in green. Mikael Fulara just kind of sitting there. to go, Danny. His teammates can tell him if the race is over, if he's got it, but I think everybody at the moment is a little confused. That's where Mika Flora is. Did we just see him on the bottom of our screen getting involved? Not sure he's even airborne, if I'm honest with you. Getting flagged now as it does not finish. Possibly still on that starting block in the distance. Hard to tell with the lights. Danny's going to wrap it up. Oh, that was interesting. Danny will take another win and be very happy with that. Mikael Fulara can register a protest if he's got one. I think he's just basically rolled it off the starting block. There is a red drone on the floor just in front of them. Flyduino Kiss Racing's grip on the season slipping away from him. Showing how to bring it home. Good to see a smile on his face. He's very, very charming young man. Real credit to his parents. Real credit to the whole drone racing scene, and going to be a huge superstar in the future, I have no doubt. There's a man who has a big smile on his face all the time as well, Danny Passion. Go on, Danny, put a smile on your face. I've just said you've always got one. Danny, don't let me down. Danny, smile for me. Does that count? Just... Oh. Okay. I hope you're having fun. I'm Matt Andrews. I'm your commentator here at the Drone Champions League. I'm Matt_Andrews on Twitter, Matt Lee Andrews on YouTube. Lots of behind the scenes content of the DCL and many other things as well. Take a look if you don't mind, but stick with us right now. Danny's going to smile soon. No, there he is. Johnny Scher is focused. Ashton Gamble is focused. And Young Rotson and Danny swapping a few notes. In the distance there, Flyduino Kiss, knowing that they've really got to do something here, although I think maths fans, you may understand where we're at. There is everybody's view. Look at that. 8 boxes for you. That's the view of all the drones on the starting blocks and our runners, wonderful team of runners and support that we have who work so hard, keeping the track, recovering drones, flagging up. So this is how we test that. All the drones have got video showing that to them, so all the pilots will say, yep, right, we're good to go, we can see this. And here are our starting blocks. And if you're wondering how this grid is arranged, the slowest pilots in qualifying terms, in terms of their aggregated times after all our qualifying sessions, the slowest pilot for each team is at the front. So the 2 drones nearest to the camera right now, those are the fastest pilots in qualifying for those teams. Flyduino Kiss Racing was on your left in red, and Next BR Free Flow was on your right in green. After testing video as we just did with the whiteboards, now we're telling all the pilots to check their props, spin them up. And let's see what happens in our semi-final big heat. Who do you think is going to win it? Let us know on Facebook. I'm hovering around on there. I'm glad to see you're all enjoying yourselves. Charlotte, welcome to you. First time with us? Check out our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see highlights and indeed some of the complete races and live streams we've done from all over the world as we've travelled around with the DCL this season. You can also catch us on over 100 TV channels worldwide too, with our magazine programmes about the pilots and highlights of all of our racing. It has been an incredible year. We will be bringing you some more. DCL will return in 2018. I'd love to tell you where and when. Oh. I also quite like this job, so I can't tell you. But we will be back with with great locations. We go to incredible worldwide locations and turn them into drone racing tracks. We started the season in Paris. We closed the Champs-Élysées, and 180,000 spectators came to watch us drone racing live under the Arc de Triomphe. That's how you do a professional drone racing team series. That's the DCL for you. Here's big heat time in Berlin. 3 of the green drones, 4 of the green drones in the air. Very slow start for Danny Pachon, it would seem. Flyduino Kiss need all 3 points here from all 3 top positions if they want to make it through to the last grand final of the season. Ashton Gamble and Johnny Scher, the 2 youngest pilots for next BR Free Flow, and I think, well, certainly in Ashton's case, the youngest pilot of the whole season here in Berlin. They are getting it done up front. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flyduino Kiss Racing, on the other hand, are done for 2017. That is a shocking result for them. All of them down. Ashton Gamble, meanwhile, brilliantly out in front. Danny and Young Rock with him. Johnny Scher is out of this now. And they're all just bringing it home. Oh, no, not all of them. Ashton's parked it, thinking the race is over. Danny Pachon, that's not really parking it, Danny, sorry to say. And Young Rock's done, just getting a bit more stick time in. That DJI turn right there, and the anti-clockwise corkscrew that follows it, that's cost a few people their drones too. Every pilot can bring up to 5, and yes, they can repair them as we go. And they are very much hands-on, these guys. They're all absolutely fantastic. Some of the teams bring more crew with them than others. Next Blades Racing in particular have a larger entourage than most. But these pilots, they build these things, they assemble them themselves, they can engineer them themselves, they fit specs that we have, but otherwise there is plenty of flexibility on how you can build those drones. And as you can see, we are under review. We did lose all of the red drones for Flyduino Kiss Racing very quickly and in pretty quick succession. There are their pilots. So with our team, our head judge Fabian there is checking connections on stage. Firstly, it did seem strange that we lost all of them pretty much at the same moment or thereabouts. There in the right of your screen, great pilot who's raced with them during this season, managing things today. Sebastian Brandes has been at every race we've had. Lucas Val, hand on shoulder there, they've both been at every race we've done. It looks like decision has come in. I think what we're seeing here, ladies and gentlemen, is the gracious sporting acknowledgements of the professionals of Flyduino Kiss Racing. That Next Blades Racing will be the world champions for 2017. Next BR Free Flow only getting the 1 point for Young Roxanne's finish after Ashton Gamble parked it early and Danny Pachon crashed it. That 1 point is all they needed though. 3-0 over Flyduino Kiss. The review has been completed. They are done for today. Not getting a rerun, which means they will come 3rd or 4th. With Conrad Wildcard Team taking the other position due to semi-final performance. Let's have a look now. Look at Nicholas Soler with drones left, right, up, down, and in front of him. And a gate a little bit too close, and then a canopy after that, and he is fighting 1, 2, and knocked out in 3. Mikael Filara's view down the far end of the hall here at Station Berlin. That corner is difficult. Arguably, you'd look at it and think it's one of the simpler things out. Hairpin turn there in front of some of the audience here at Station Berlin. But it has claimed a few, perhaps with a little bit too eagerness as they see a drone going by them in the other direction. You'd be a bit scared if you were a green team owner right there, saying next BR free flow quite so close to each other in the closed air space of a closed air gate. Young Roxanne getting that point to make sure it's done. Somebody had to. Arduino Kiss Racing there, congratulating their friends on Next Blades Racing, who will be racing their sister team in the final races and the grand final of the Drone Champions League 2017. The starting blocks, they are empty. Grand final time will be with us. It's tight, isn't it? So what have we got in the chat? Charlotte wants to know how old is Ashton Gamble. He's 12. He was 11 earlier on in our season. I guess that's how old he is. You understood. But no, he was 11 in earlier races. But he is 12 now. Drobot Racer is what he goes under as a racer. He's got a YouTube channel you might want to check out as well. He's good. As are, of course, all the pilots we've got. Now we will show you this incredible season. I mentioned we've been to some wonderful locations around the world in the biggest drone racing team series on the planet, and we have had wonderful crowds who've joined us online and on location as well. Let's show you some of the wonderful memories from 2017. Grand final in front of 200,000 people on the Champs-Élysées. The Reds are Flyduino Kiss Racing in the green, FPV Racing. Time to put those nerves aside and make this count and take the points for your team. Into the tunnel with Stutz of FPV Racing. Just for Sorry, who's got to keep his nerves under control. He hit the DCL gate, sorry, and into the crash gate, and that makes Flyduino Kiss Racing the champions of the first race in the DCL 2017 season. It's a historic track for the FL1 Grand Prix of Liechtenstein, and the team who wins will take 250 points into our championship. Let's get into our racing here in Liechtenstein. Grand final time in Vaduz.
Now made it to the final, feel really confident and excited, really happy.
Before the big heat, it's 3-1 in favour of Conrad Racing Team.
It's going to be a hard run now because we're 3 points to 1 in the match.
There's a lot to do for our FPV Racing Team. Still Shake in the lead. Shake all on his own through the autobots gate into the DCL crash gate, and that makes Conrad Racing Team the champions here in Vaduz. A great win for Conrad Racing Team, which gives them 250 points for their season.
Herbert. Hey, how are you doing?
Say again, I didn't hear you.
How are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
So, how do you like the race so far? We had some insane races today.
Yeah, we had some really nice single heats, very thrilling. Yeah.
So, which part of the track do you like the most?
Well, for me, I have to check all the tracks, so it's no particular space what I really like. So I think what I'm most thrilling for the people should be the doorway.
Okay, so is there a team you like the most or support the most?
I'm from Switzerland, and Swiss is neutral.
Okay, so what's actually your job the whole day?
I'm checking actually that TV and a race and everything is synced together.
So, looking back to 5 insane locations, how did you like it? How did you experience it?
Well, it was an awesome season, and it will be a big party definitely tonight.
Okay, thank you so much, and see you later.
Thank you, bye-bye.
My boss tells me we're going to have a big party tonight. Thank you, Herbert Weirater. He's the CEO of the Drone Champions League. Right, well, let's wrap it up here. Bye, everybody. No, we have a small matter of the final race of the season between Next Blades Racing and Next BR Free Flow. 2 sister teams, both from the UK. Between them, they have faced each other before. And it was actually out in Vaduz in Liechtenstein when we had a show race. We had a day of racing towards the season, but we had another day of show matches as well. In that, Next Blades Free Flow beat Next Blades Racing 5-2. And when we were out in Brussels, our 3rd location of the season, and that was, oh, by the way, in the show match, that was the grand final, just like this one. Out in Brussels, Next Blades Free Flow lost to Next Blades Racing 3-0. So it's 1 each in bragging rights. There's a little more to play for here. Next Blades Racing are now the world champions of DCL for 2017. Next BR Free Flow are down in 5th in our leaderboard and can do nothing about that. So congratulations to Next Blades Racing. There is a few other things we're awarding today as well. Congratulations first to Timothy Trowbridge. Timothy Trowbridge of FPV Racing, who is our best qualifier of the season. He's been first in qualifying based on aggregate times. He has undoubtedly been our best pilot in qualifying, having collected 1st place in qualifying of all the pilots at any race, more than anybody else. So congratulations to Timothy Trowbridge, who is undoubtedly our best qualifier for the season. Not all over in best pilot of the season either. That is still potentially, well, it's going to change. Here's the thing, we have 3 pilots right now who are all on 12 points for their team. They are Timothy Trowbridge for FPV Racing, who are 9th today and so can't collect any more points. They are Niklas Soller for Flydomino Kit, who is also on 12 points and out now, so can't collect any more. And then there's Brett Collis, who is with Next Blades Racing, who is on 12 points and competing in this grand final. So, Brett Collis with 1 more win, whether it be in the single heat he'll be in or the big heat that will close the day and the season. If he can win anything, Next Blades Racing's Brett Collis will be our pilot of the season. Otherwise, it's going to be a 3-way tie. So let's meet some of these finalists who've been so incredible all season.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that video, and then I started to watch some more videos and started to see the cool things that people were doing with these drones, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to spend 20 hours on that and just see where it goes, see what happens.
We're now on board with Gary Kent, who's the leading drone for Next Blades Racing. Back on Bolton Green. Matru in white, only 500 to the second between them as they came into the tunnel. There's nothing in it. Oswald now on board with Matru ahead of him.
I think, you know, we're really privileged to experience this sort of thing. Like no generation before us could like transfer its own mind into this small robot and experience what it is to fly and race at these crazy speeds. Because I mean, no human body would stand, you know, the whole pressure and the speeds that we achieve with those small things.
Stage. Next Blades Racing's Gary Kent, Mac Poshvolt, Brett Collis and Luke Bannister with big smiles on their faces, as you would have if you were a new world champion drone racer. Looking like they're going to enjoy themselves over the 5 races. That will bring us to the end of the DCL 2017 season. They know well their sister team and their opposition in this final.
For me, drone racing and also freestyle with these drones is a passion. It's the way to keep outside this stress, the current stress, the day stress. I really love finishing up, try to get some free times to fly 1 hour, 30 minutes.
He's okay. Around the start goes Madru. Currently in first 2 drones, both for next yard free flow. No, Jerry's gone. Just with Madru now, and Matt Hostel is in the fight.
To me, drone racing is pretty much my entire life right now. You know, I've dropped everything to pursue it full time, and I've done that because it's my passion, and it's a lot of fun, obviously. So if I could make a sustainable career out of it, that's my dream and that's my goal, and I'm going to continue pushing, pursuing, and just going crazy to try and make that happen.
Somebody's wedged something in his mouth in order to make him smile because I told him he had to. Do you know what that is? That's an action camera of a certain brand. I won't say which one other action cameras are available, but I think that is Danny Pashon filming and vlogging his entry into a World Championship Grand Final stage. It makes a smile. Glad that he is. There you go. Ashton Gale. So for the grand final in the DCL, wait a minute, first of all, that Instagram vote that we were talking about earlier on Instagram stories, who's the favourite then out of these 2 teams? Oh, hello, Next BR Free Flow fans. What happened here? Is this Flyduino Kiss Racing fans who wanted to take the new world champions down a peg? I like it. Well, you voted. So Next BR Free Flow will get 1 hit at some point in these coming 5 races on our fan joker to try and shoot down an opposition who was drone. It won't be any of the pilots, it'll be, well, interestingly, someone who manages both teams. So we'll see how he does it. Yeah, we're going to have 5 races now. In the quarterfinals and single finals, we only have 2 single heats in each. But in the grand final, every pilot will race one of the teams, one of their opposition team's pilots. And this time, they don't choose the order that they're in. We will start with the slowest pilot in qualifying for each team facing each other. And then we'll get faster and faster. Our 4th single heat will see the best pilots, based on today's qualifying times, racing each other. And then the big heat will settle it. And that's where we'll sadly say goodbye to the DCL for the moment. We'll be back next year. We'll be back in many locations next year. New ones, new places, And let us know where you think we should go as well, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, or also to the many of you watching on Unilads. Let us know. You can tweet us at Drone Champions L, or like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. Where should we go? Where do you live? Where are you watching us from? Welcome to all of you watching us. We are truly global. We're on over 100 TV channels with the Drone Champions League, and live now on many of them right now too. Welcome to you wherever you are watching us. Thank you so much from everybody involved in the DCL for joining us in the world's best drone racing team series. Bob, hello to you in the chat watching from Argentina. Where should we go? Should we come to you? Where in Argentina should we race? Or indeed anywhere else in the world? Let us know. Where's a good racing location for drone racing? We can do it anywhere. We like to race around interesting locations, interesting real places. We're here in Station Berlin, very famous building in Berlin. Last races were in Romania, 150 meters underground in a salt mine called Salina Terra. If you haven't seen that, do look on YouTube. The Drone Champions League and myself, Matt Andrews, for exclusive footage of what it was like 150 meters underground with drones. We took over the center of Brussels. Thank you to the people of Brussels for letting us use the Monte Arts earlier this year. We raced under and round a library in the center of a public park as well, and we used trees as obstacles. And the trees won, to be honest, as did the fountains in that square too. We were also in Paris, we were also in the capital of Liechtenstein, and right now it is Gary Kent and Ashton Gamble starting things off here in Berlin. These are 8 terrific pilots, some of the nicest, most professionals you could ever meet, and I'd say that again really about every pilot we've got. But with our 2 teams who've made it to our grand final of the season, super nice guys, both of these, very different of course. Ashton, he's 12, Gary Kent, he's a bit older than 12 would be impolite to say. And they are side by side with Gary Kent's view of Ashton Gamble, passing him, looping in front of him and staying there. Gary Kent goes underneath him, Ashton goes over him, takes a better turn. This is terrific racing. Gary Kent in blue and Ashton Gamble with only 800ths of a second between them. It's Gary now in the lead as they come up to the end of the second of our 3 laps. Gary still in the air in front of Ashton. Ashton climbing, fast throttles open through the Conrad gate. Gary hears a bang behind him, or at least we do. Gary heard it. Bites to dust. Shame, I would have loved to have seen that go all the way to the finish. But that'll be Gary Kent into a wall. That's an unusual place to crash. Nobody's gone straight out of the doors and forgot to turn afterwards. But we'll let you off, Gary. Ashton had crashed around half an hour earlier than you. What an amazing race that was between the 2 of them. So that's 1 to Gary, 1, 2, next Blades Racing. Next up, Mac Poschwald and Danny Pashon. Mac in blue, Danny Pashon in green. Mac with a slightly better start, but also slightly, well, they'll be neck and neck on the blocks because we're lining these pilots up by ordering qualifying, so they will be starting in identical positions on our starting grid. However, Danny Pashon is in no way an identical position of Mac Poschwald right now. He is clearly out in front and down. Oh, Danny, where'd you go? He is done, isn't he? Mac Poschwald has this all to himself. Not quite sure where we lost Danny Pashon, but I'm pretty confident that we did. Oh, he's back in the air. He's back in the air. We'll need to get some timing data, but I think back in the air and almost an entire lap behind Mac instead of so far out in front that we didn't see him. Now he's down again. That's it. Danny's written that off, and Mac disappeared, hid behind the gate and popped back out again. Looped it into the starting gate and puts a second point on the board for next Blades Racing. Richard, the team owner there, congratulating his pilots. I'm sure congratulating both of them. Welcome to Kyle, who's with us from Canada. Nancy is with us from Belgium. Lendy in the Philippines. Hello to you. I was in Manila last month with some esports. Beautiful and so friendly country. Thank you very much for joining us as well. Carl, I'll be joining you in Canada in February. Something else. Not DCL. Sorry. Not saying we're coming to Canada in February. Yeah, in Montreal. Niagara Falls. Now that would be a location. Yeah, keep them coming on Facebook. We have an amazing season planned for 2018, but you know. Do you want a drag race? Do you want to host us? Do it in your garden? Let us know great locations around the world. Either live now on our chat or tweet us, Facebook us, things. Let's talk about Brett Collis and Johnny Sher. Brett with a slower start, Johnny Sher beating him off the grid. Johnny Sher's had an interesting mixed up of weekend. He's been poorly. I'm not saying that for any reason other than to let you know that he has been absolutely killing it for somebody who is actually quite sick. Brett Collis, though, has passed him. Johnny was all lost somewhere between the DJI gate and the hairpin. Lost a lot of time, and Brett Collis has eaten it up. Remember, if Brett wins this, Brett is Pilot of the Year in points scored for his team. And currently he is just under a second in the lead, but Johnny passes him. Incredible move. Again, it's one of the narrowest parts of the course, but Johnny's in trouble after that. Swinging it around, and Brett takes the lead again. It's a 3-lap race. We're going to get Johnny taking another bite at Brett very, very soon. Through the doors, back out to the second half of the second lap, and now the gap is getting massive, but we've seen how much speed Brett has and how much more speed Johnny can do at this end of the course. It was all or nothing for him. That DJI gate, it's straight in front of the drone air gate. You come out of the doors, you rise up, you go through drone air and through DJI. You'd think that DJI is the second of the two gates in a straight line. You'd think that ought to be alright, but that DJI gate has wrecked some drones. That race makes Brett Collis the DCL Pilot of the Year. 13 points from a season for his team. Congratulations to Brett Collis. Getting everything ready for our next single heats. Oh, it's the final one, everyone. It's our final single heat of 2017. Carl wants us in Western Canada. Eros watching from Abu Dhabi. Hello to you. Yeah, Eros, I hope I've got your name right. The Grand Canyon would be exciting, wouldn't it? Jesper, or Jesper, apologies, I'm not sure. Let's go to Norway and Ali watching us in the UAE. Hello, United Arab Emirates. Thank you, everybody there, for joining us live here in Berlin. Young Roxanne's keeping it in the air. Good, we want some more of this racing, don't we? It's not over yet. Young Roxanne, fastest in qualifying for XPR free flow. Luke Bannister, fastest in qualifying for anybody, and is done and dusted here. Oh, Luke, after an incredible weekend. First in qualifying yesterday, first in qualifying today. There was the team captain and team owner of both of these teams trying to shoot young Roxanne down with the next blades. Next free flows. Banjo, you voted for him. Clearly, he wouldn't have wanted to use it to interfere with any racing, really, when they're both his teams, but decided since this race is over and Luke is out, he would try and shoot down young Roxanne. But now, Luke, as I said, first in qualifying yesterday, straight out of the blocks on Friday when they had their first go in the training sessions here in Berlin. Owned this track completely. First in qualifying again today. Absolutely fantastic from him. Didn't see enough of him in that single heat. So ladies and gentlemen, 3-1 for Next Blades Racing after young Roxanne takes one back for Free Flow. Free Flow can still win this today if they take all three top positions in the final race of the season that we're about to give you. Which will be a nice end of the season, of course, for an XPR Free Flow. But we come now to sand, last racing action of DCL 2017. Don't go anywhere, of course. We are going to be crowning a world champion here in Berlin. You are seeing how good they are in front of your eyes. Here's the action now from the single heats we just had. Such terrific racing again today. It was good yesterday. It's absolutely terrific today. These pilots are incredible on all of our teams. Thank you so much to everybody who's raced the Teams can have a big roster of pilots that they pick from. They have to choose them before the start of the season, but they can then bring 4 and a few different ones to each race. We've had quite a lot of changes on some teams. Other teams have been very consistent and stuck with the same 4 pilots. FPV Racing, for example, should give a mention to them. They're 4th in the season. Didn't make it out of qualifying today, only 9th in qualifying, which is why they're not featuring in our races today. But Mark Heinegger, Kai Stutz, Raphael Strahl and Timothy Trowbridge have been to every race we've done as a unit. They are the only team who've had pilots compete in every race we've done. And they have been absolutely incredible. One of the more consistent teams. We're leading the season for some time. Here's Luke Bannister getting into a Model 1 PlayStation gate. That's where we lost him. The other teams, of course, who we've had with us: Rotorama, with Jan Mittner, Peter Meyer, Jakob Thoman and David Svoboda here today. Immersion RC, we've not seen a lot of this weekend. They've had a number of different pilots through the season, but Vince Irie, Ralph Hogenberg, Cooper Groves and Andre Krasny have been competing this weekend. Christoph Skarčanovic and Karen Garber have been in every race for Gemfan, along with Victor van der Els and Mirko Cesena. Flyduino Kiss Racing's Niklas Solle, Lucas Val, Sebastian Brandes and Miguel Fulara have given us great action and nearly world champions. Martin Kemp, Marcus Stropeep, Heiko Schenk, Dino Yogi for Conrad Racing Team. And we've had their wildcard team of Walter Kirsch, Sebastian Dahl, Bastian Hackel and Marlon Tanner here this weekend. Many other pilots who've competed in the DCL. Sorry I can't name each and every one of you, but thank you to all the action and excitement that you've given us. Hirafumi's in Japan, Tarvin's in Malaysia. Welcome to Berlin. Tyler, your comment at Red Eye. If you're thinking about the well-known esports host, I know him, I've heard of him. Danny Pashon wants to take it for the next PR free throw. Our final race of the season, ladies and gentlemen. All the drones are through the doors, some of them not through the second ones. Matt Cosfold, Luke Bannister, backs down Luke Bannister, showing us what he can do with his world champion credentials. Every drone was heading towards those doors at speed. Not every drone made it out of the other side. 5 of them are out of this final race of DCL. What a shame. Brett is out of it. It is just Luke and Ashton now, the 2 youngest pilots on these teams. Both of them absolutely incredible. I hope Ashton's still with us. I'd love to see him finish the final race. He's not. Oh no. It's just you now. Show us how it's done. Luke Bannister, 18-year-old British pilot, world champion from the World Drone Prix in Dubai last year. Races all over the world. Absolutely incredible professional drone racer. Part of the Next Blades Racing outfit. First time winners in the Drone Champions League. Destroyed it in qualifying. Owns that track today. Great wins for him. And ladies and gentlemen, our final race of DCL goes 4-1 to Next Blades Racing over their sister team, Next PR Free Throw. That's Danny talking there. Of carnage, really, in the final race. Nothing was riding on it. Titles have been decided. Everybody went for it there, and I guess Berlin's track won, really. In our final races of the season, at our final location of the season, final. You understand, it's DCL 2017's racing season coming to a conclusion now. We have had so much fun. Thank you to all the audiences who've joined us on location where we've been. In Paris, in Vaduz, the capital of Liechtenstein, in Brussels, in the Salina Turda salt mine of Romania, and live here in Berlin in Germany as well. We have more for you. We have champions to crown. Don't leave us just yet, everybody. These are the best drone racing pilots in the world, and they have treated us to amazing action. Fan choking coming off there. Look at this big heat from the final race there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drones. Like this course isn't hard enough to do, as you can see. Still in the air. Oh, spoke too soon. Max view of... Oh, it wasn't him who tripped on it, okay. High into the Conrad gate, drones everywhere around him. Coming at speed near the floor. Hold on to your blades, everyone. Very high, beautiful turns from both of those drones going around the corkscrew in the latter half of the course. And Luke bringing it home, putting another point on the board for the new world champions. We'll go live to our stage in a moment to have a chat and an interview with VV. Talking, I think, no doubt, very happy drone racing pilots. Interview, we'll try and get that back, but there's confirmation that Next Blades Racing complete the season and take the title of World Champions with a win as well. Next be our Free Flow sister team coming in second, Flyduino Kiss with 200 points, and the Conrad Wildcard Team, picked up from all over Germany, Switzerland and Austria through the DRAS Racing Series organised by Conrad Technologies. Really showing what they could do. And here, ladies and gentlemen, is confirmation of the teams who've joined us all this season. Rotorama are in third, picking up 80 points today for Big Dean's fifth after quarterfinals. Flyduino Kiss Racing second, and our world champions are Next Blades Racing. We'll try and I hope get an interview with Gary, Ken and Vivi down on our stage. See what they have to say. I'm sure he is absolutely thrilled. Goes without saying, he's a world champion.
Sebastian Brandes.
Flyduino Kiss Racing, after today's racing action, being deemed into third place. Third place for Flyduino Kiss Racing, Soler, Val, Brandes. Nicholas on there as well, squeezing in on a podium, why not? Coming out to our stage now, second for today. Should mention Mikael Fulara. He's the one being squeezed at the back of the podium there. Second though, next be our Free Flow. Young Roxanne, Danny Pashon, Ashton Gamble and Johnny Sher. Congratulations to them. There's their team owner, Richard, and the CEO of DCL, Herbert Weirater. So we are first congratulating the teams for their results today. To our stage then, the champions of today's racing.
2017 erster Platz, first place goes to
Next Blades Racing. I'm
Poschwald.
Red Colors.
Gary Kent.
Luke Bannister.
There they are, Next Blades Racing's Luke Bannister, Mac Poschwald, Brett Collis and Gary Kent. So those are the top three teams here after today's racing, champions of the racing that we've done today. Next Blades Racing and XPR Free Flow runners-up, and Flyduino Kiss Racing in third after today's action.
Für die Sieger Drone Champions League hier in Berlin beim Finale am heutigen Tag. Ja, die Fotos werden geschossen.
And Luke, but we are not all over yet. Johnny's enjoying himself on the left there, isn't he? They've been sure what to do, because we haven't given them any champagne. There you go.
So, bitte jetzt.
Off you go now, everybody. Come on, we've got a World Championships crown.
Wir kommen schon zur nächsten Siegerehrung.
Hope you've enjoyed yourself in the DCL season. I'm Matt Andrews. I've had an absolute blast. Thank you to Drone Champions League for bringing me in to be your presenter and commentator for this season. It's been an incredible pleasure working on this. Not just to have so much fun with all of you wonderful people watching the show, but also to work with this wonderful team of producers and event professionals and sport professionals and athletes with these incredible pilots who joined us. We bring to the stage now to settle our World Championship. There is a €100,000 prize pool amongst the top teams of the DCL. Coming to our stage, Rotaramas, Jan Mittner, Peter Meyer, David Svoboda and Jakob Thoman.
Ja, und auch der Siegerscheck wird hier überreicht.
10,000 euros and the title of third place in the DCL 2017 season. Congratulations, Rotorama!
17, Platz 2. Second place, go to Flyduino Kiss Racing!
As you heard, spoilers, but you knew. The runners-up of the DCL for 2017 are Flyduino Kiss Racing. Twice they've been runners-up of a racing Grand Prix. They've had a fourth, had a couple of performances in which they didn't pick up any points at all, but after the season it is all finished here in Berlin. Second place goes to Sebastian Brandes, Lucas Wahl, Michael Fulara, Niklas Soller, with Angelo Feckler joining him on stage as well. Those are the 5 pilots who've raced for Flyduino Kiss this season. Congratulations to them. 25,000 euros to Flyduino Kiss Racing.
The champion. First place goes to Next Blades Racing.
The world champions, ladies and gentlemen. Next Blades Racing, represented here by Mac Poschwald, Gary Kent, Luke Bannister and Brett Collis. But we should also remember Ashton Gamble's raced for them, Tom Stanton, Harry Plested and the young superstar Adam Blackburn, who've all raced for Next Blades Racing at some point this season. I should should also mention for Rotorama as well, we've had Lubomir Sladek, Jakob Steiner and David Strad in earlier races. I want to complete the lineups of all of these teams, as we owe so much to all these pilots for giving us such brilliant racing again and again and again. But the world champions, ladies and gentlemen, and in the case of Luke Bannister, two-time world champion, the only one in drone racing, we congratulate Next Blades Racing, live here in Berlin, being presented with €50,000 and the title of the World Champions for the Drone Champions League. Next Blades Racing, the world champions of DCL.
Champion, namely Next Blades Racing.
Congratulations to that fine team of pilots. To also fly winner Kiss, Rotorama, FPV and all the other teams who've made this season so special. Plenty of time to party and get messy, and if you are, some people run very swiftly from that stage. Go on, yeah? You haven't got it open yet? And professionalism they have individually and for each other as well. We will be back for more. So make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Drone Champions L. Subscribe. Mac, what are you doing? That's €50,000 you just tripped over. And a trophy to the ground. Oh, Mac, we'll have to do it all again now. Well, we will do some more of this again. We will be back in 2018, so make sure you follow us on all social media so you know when. We will be coming back to you next year, early next year. This year we started in Paris on the 4th of June. Next year we'll be starting sooner than that. I can't tell you when. I would love to tell you where. But I'd also like to come back and do more of this in 2018 too. So you'll forgive me if I keep my job and instead say you will not want to miss 2018. Thank you so much to you for watching us here at the Drone Champions League. To all the pilots, we've had pilots from 14 different countries just at this weekend. It is an incredible worldwide team racing series. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for all the excitement and appreciation you've given us. Thank you to all the pilots, the production team from DCL, Smart Media, and everybody else involved, for Conrad Campus for bringing us here this weekend. I'm Matt Andrews. Keep in touch on Twitter. I'm Matt_Andrews and Matt Lee Andrews on YouTube as well. We say congratulations again to you, Brett Collis, for being Pilot of the Year, and for your team, Next Blades Racing, for being the world champions of the DCL. From all of us here at Berlin, thank you for joining us. Congratulations, Next Blades Racing. And don't miss us. The world's best drone racing team series will be back in 2018.